The Assembly Committee on Government Affairs is reconvened for part two for the first time this legislative session. At this time, we are on support for SB 391, so I will invite anyone wishing to come and testify in support of SB 391. I know that we did it. I was just going to give one final opportunity in case there was lingering support. It doesn't appear that there is. BPS, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in support of SB 391?
Chair, the line is open and working, but there are no callers choosing to provide support testimony at this time.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and invite anyone wishing to testify in opposition to SB 391. Thank you. When you're ready, you may begin. And thank you so much for your patience as well to everybody joining us either online in Vegas or here. I apologize. We had to get to floor, but I'm happy that we were able to reconvene. Thank you.
What's that? Yeah. First of all, thank you for your time. It looks like most of you are pretty pressed for your time. So thank you for allowing somebody to speak for the opposition. I feel, as I was speaking to Sean here, that when I say in opposition.
I apologize, sir. If you could state your name for the record. Thank you.
Sure. My name is Jared Dooley. I'm the fire chief for Fallon Churchill Fire Department. I'm here speaking in opposition of the bill as written. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like at some point it feels weird to say in opposition of this bill because obviously the intent of this bill has some real value here. And so I'd just like to speak to that a little bit. Good morning, Chair Torres. My name is Jared Dooley. I'm the chief of the fire department for the city of Fallon. I speak today reluctantly but emphatically in opposition to SB 391 as currently written. Reluctantly because I agree with the intentions of the bill's primary sponsors, Senator Harris, Assemblyman Watts, and Assemblyman Baucus. Any political entity using a public siren as a legacy of a racist and bigoted past should be called out and its use should be immediately discontinued. My opposition arises from the consequences of the current bill on the community that I serve, that of the city of Fallon and Churchill County. I will supplement my opposition through written comments and historical documents. The record clearly shows that the city of Fallon's volunteer fire department installed its first public notification system in 1916 when the city ordered a siren capable of notifying the volunteer fire department and the public of emergency calls. Over the past 100 years, what has become known as the fire department whistle has been sounded to call upon our volunteers to respond to protect life and property. Similarly, since its installation, the whistle has been sounded at noon to test its working condition and for no other purpose. We test it daily for a number of reasons, predictability being first. The public knows and expects that noon sounding of the whistle. It is well known to be a test and does not communicate an emergency situation to the public. When it sounds at any other hour, night or day, the public understands that an emergency calls for its volunteers to respond. Drivers and pedestrians watch for emergency vehicles, and we all know to watch out for each other. Secondly, daily testing for notification systems is a best practice standard promulgated by the NFPA, or the National Fire Protection Association. Importantly, has been codified by NAC 477.281. These standards require manual testing for all personnel notification systems. There's a good reason for this. You don't test these systems during an emergency. We test our siren daily just as we test our paging system daily. For many years of personal experience, I always hear the siren, even if I don't hear the page or if there are technical difficulties with our system. It is a simple but effective means to call out the emergency situation. Because we have these excellent systems in place, the City of Fallon Volunteer Fire Department is proud to have been awarded our ISO 1 rating. Our department is of very few, if not the only entirely volunteer department to have achieved this. In closing, the siren relied on by the City of Fallon serves a real public purpose and always has. The same cannot be said of others. It notifies our department of a call for help and further notifies the public to be aware of those responding to the call. In Fallon, it is a symbol that we care for and take care of each other. The fire department serves an area of 5,000 square miles with only 42 volunteers. We serve 24/7, 365. The siren and its daily testing are critical parts of that mission. We oppose this bill as currently written because it impairs our ability to serve the community. We're hopeful that an amendment can be adopted that would allow the primary purpose of this bill to be met while preserving the public use and testing of our notification system. I thank Senator Harris for her comments earlier that she's willing to consider an amendment that accomplishes this, and the city commits to working with her so that we can become a supporter of this bill. Thank you for your time and your consideration, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, members. Any questions? I don't believe there are any. Thank you so much. I don't see any additional opposition here in Carson City. BPS, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in opposition to SB 391?
Callers, if you would like to testify in opposition to SB 391, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue.
Good afternoon, Chair and Committee. My name is Jim DeGraffenreid, DeGraffenreid, representing myself as a retired volunteer and paid firefighter and resident of Douglas County. We've heard that we need to stop the Minden volunteer fire siren because it's a sundown siren, but it absolutely is not and never was. It was installed by the Minden volunteers and was sounded twice a day, just like fire sirens all over America. According to multi-generational ranching families in the area, although the evening siren was coincidentally close to the time of the shameful sundown ordinance, which should never have existed and has been repealed for over a half century, the two were never officially connected. SB 391 is overreached as this issue was resolved following the passage of AB 88. Even the bill's supporters had to admit that Minden is complying with the law as passed, and they are doing so in cooperation with the tribe. In June of 2021, Washoe Tribe Chairman Cyril Smokey and Minden Town Manager J.D. Frisbee came to an agreement that complied with AB 88 and issued a joint statement which reads, "Our discussions resulted in a mutual agreement that the evening siren should continue to sound but to change its time from 6 p.m. each evening to 5 p.m. The 5 p.m. siren will serve to acknowledge the volunteer firefighters and first responders who have been historically dispatched by the town's siren. Deleting the 6 p.m. siren will honor those hurt by archaic sundown mandates of prior eras. We are hopeful that this change will herald greater respect and genuine progress for all members of our community," as the statement concludes. It's surprising that one of the sponsors of the AB 88 amendment and one of the sponsors of SB 391 is on record approving this agreement, and yet is now trying to rewrite history with SB 391. In a July 2021 article in Nevada Indy, Assemblyman Watts is quoted as saying that he is supportive of the agreement and that he thinks, quote, "The discussion around AB 88 helped get the tribe and the town to an agreement. I think the 6 o'clock time slot was what was particularly upsetting to the tribe. The bill was aimed at getting that siren to stop being sounded, particularly at that time. If the tribe feels that's enough distance, then it's no longer associated with that ordinance. Then I think that's in alignment with the spirit of the law," end quote. This is a local issue and was resolved at the local level. It is offensive that the town of Minden was misrepresented in this hearing.
If you could
and I urge
please
the
begin to wrap up your
legislature to
testimony.
refrain. I'm at the end. I urge this legislature to refrain from further interference and resolve rural issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you. BPS, is there anyone else on the line?
Chair, there are no more callers choosing to provide opposition testimony at this time.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and move into neutral. Is there anyone wishing to testify neutral to SB 391? I do not see any here in Carson City, and I do not see, BPS, is there anyone on the line?
Chair, there are no callers choosing to provide neutral testimony at this time.
Thank you. At this time, I believe the bill sponsor is left for closing remarks. So at this time, we'll go ahead and close the hearing on SB 391. I will let the committee know, and I know we've had, various different stances on the work session today. But in the interest of time, recognizing that we do have 1:30 committees as well. In fact, I have a 1:30 committee I have to get to, as does the vice chair. We are going to go ahead and roll the work session. We're going to go ahead and roll the work session to Friday at 9 a.m. So at 9 a.m., we will have our work session, and then we will also be hearing SB 208. At this time, we'll go ahead and move on to public comment. Is there anyone wishing to testify in public comment? I don't see any here in Carson City. BPS, is there anyone online wishing to testify in public comment?
Chair, the line is open and working, but there are no callers choosing to testify in public comment at this time.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and invite any remarks from members. No? Okay. Just a reminder to committee, tomorrow we will be meeting. We will be returning to this room, and we will be hearing 3 bills and meeting at 9 a.m. At this time, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.